It's LSP. It's Sunday the 13th of January. It's currently 9 o'clock in the evening. I wanted to get this out there before the market open. Just give you some ideas on what to look for, or what I will be looking for this week. Obviously this is not trade advice, I keep saying this, so just take it with a pinch of salt and just study the levels and see how it goes. So just a quick brief overview for the dollar index. Obviously last week, nope, just did that wrong. 1 second. Get the day dividers on. So, it's Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So here's our week here, okay? And obviously we had this level marked off. We had a pretty decent week. If we just quickly pop over to the daily, you can see I had this level marked here, 95 to 15 to 95, big figure. I've clearly gone through that, and I want to see. I'll leave this level here. I will remove this level and this level. We're going to leave this level intact, and we're going to leave this level intact. If this level is swept, then I imagine this inefficiency is going to get filled in, and we'll tap this candle here, which I've marked off at 94.15. But the 94.45 to 94.50 I'm going to leave there. In terms of weekly, I'll take the daily dividers off for a second. You can see, come all the way down. Okay, we've found some measure of support down here. This is the low that we can see on the daily chart. Had some nice rejection off here. Nothing over the top. Set up, some nice rejection. But I don't think. I think this candle right here is going to be very similar to this candle right here. In terms of, it's not really going to make a difference where it is within the downtrend. I just think it's effectively a little bit of profit taking, and I think it's going to continue going lower, and we're going to be reaching for this 94.50. I'm really not in a rush, as always, guys. I'm just going to kind of watch, see what happens. We do have a couple of levels to be keeping an eye on this week. We've got the 95.70, and then we've got the 94.50. I'm just rounding up and rounding down. Rounding up on both. Like I said, there's really no rush, at all. But in terms of the hourly price action, you can see what's so cool about this actually is that we came down to that 95. We came down to that 95. Swept through it, come back up, and now it almost looks like this is that blue line here is that level that I've marked off on the daily chart. And I was saying last week that I didn't want this level to be traded through, and it didn't do that, and it started to grind towards that 95.15 to 95 big figure. We've had a nice little pop, a little bit of a pullback. We've respected this small area here, and it's looking like we're probably going to get a push into this area here, around about the 95.50 to 95.60 level, and I'd want to see how price reacts around that level. Now, if price continues, let's say we open today, and price starts to grind lower, it's about here, where I can start to pay attention, because we'll have from this point down to a sweep of this low and a sweep of this low. So we'll have plenty of range. What I'm getting at is this: the closer we are to these ranges, these range lows. So let me say that again: the closer we are to this low here and this low here, then the easier it is for price to reach for that. So there's no point anticipating a trade up here or anticipating price movement up here and saying, okay, I believe we're still in a downtrend. I believe we're going down here. I believe it's going to sweep both of these lows, so I'm just going to get in here. What's the point? I like to just wait till it gets to around about here. Still plenty of range to go, and then we can take that trade on a foreign currency. For me, it's mainly euro or cable. So there's no rush. There's really no rush. But that's where I stand. I'm not gonna change what my analysis as of yet. I still believe the draw-on price is lower. These are the key levels that I'm going to be watching, and then you've got the top level here. There is a small candle here but if it's going to grind through this, it's going to reach for the 95.70. So we'll see which way it goes. And again, all we have to do is just kind of wait, let Sunday open, let Monday, London finish, and see where we stand with the New York session tomorrow. Euro-wise, a little bit messy on the weekly. Drop down to the daily. These are the levels that I was saying that I wanted price to come back down into, and I'd be considering a buy down here. Obviously, the trade on cable panned out much better. There's a lot of speakers last week on the on the calendar, and I think the trade was much cleaner in cable than it was on euro. Euro, by the looks of things, if we just zoom out on the daily for a second, by the looks of things, you can see we've been in this consolidation for a while. We do have equal lows down here. We've got the draw down here as well. That's not where I believe price is going though, but I'm just saying there's liquidity down here, and there's also liquidity above us. There's an inefficiency up here. We've got some liquidity here. We've got a good level here. Just to show you, this is the monthly level, big grey one. And I was saying at the beginning of the when I first put that on the chart, that if price gets up there, then I do believe it's going to be strong resistance level. But for now, let's drop down to the daily again to zoom out. For now, for me, we're in that area where we should find some level of support. We did pop quite aggressively, and I would have preferred to see this candle not be eaten into too much, but it's come right back in, and right now, and I'm gonna have to mark it off, but what I'm gonna do is this: if I just mark off the body of that candle, if we get through this, okay, then I believe we're going sideways. I'm not really interested in this level, in these two levels down here, until price gets to around about here, which means if price comes all the way down here this week, then it's pretty much reversed the entire move and it's come back into the range, and it's probably going to reach for these lows down here. So this is probably going to be one of those weeks that's going to be really annoying. The best thing to do, and the easiest way to look at it, is like this. For me, I want to be as close as possible to within a range where I can still trade in, right, to either side of the liquidity pool. In this case, right now, I know that there's a liquidity pool up here, and I know there's a liquidity pool down here, and there's plenty along the way on the lower time frames. But let's just go with that one and that one. Right now, we're nowhere near either of them. Yeah, so there's nothing for me to do, because that means I'm anticipating a trade. I don't want to take a buy down now. So I don't just want to randomly buy here and say, well, I still believe it's going higher, and then get stuck, in a trade that just grinds lower, grinds lower, grinds lower. What's the point? I can just be patient. I can wait for price to come to around about here. And just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, let's say here we still have around about 45 picture range. So why wouldn't, it makes more sense for me to wait for price to come here and then take a trade closer to a liquidity pool when I know it's probably just going to shoot up there, as opposed to taking a trade here where we're nowhere near it and we're nowhere near it. So it's a patience game. There's nothing really, there for us to do. And you can see the kind of inverse of the dollar here. It is likely that we'll grind a little bit lower, and it's going to be interesting to see. This is the rectangle, sorry, not the rectangle, this is that candle that I marked off. It's going to be interesting to see how price fares around this level. You can see that there's some work done here already, had a really nice pop outside that range. We've come back in. If we shoot from here and we get above this high, and remember this is the hourly, but if we get above this high, okay, there, then, and what I'll do, I'm actually going to make this really thick. Okay, so if we get above that level right there, which is around about the 115.40, then I would imagine that the uptrend is going to resume. This high is going to be taken, and then we're going to see the liquidity here get taken as well. All right, so we'll see. And I'm going to be doing the videos throughout the week as well, so I'll be keeping on top of this and I'll be showing you as we go. Cable wise, perfect price action really. You can see we kind of ran up into this level that I'd marked off. We did hit the 128.30 and overshot as well. around about 128.50 or so. It started to eat into this candle a little bit. We still have 129.20, which is there. That's possible as an upside objective, but I'd like to see on cable, because it's in a very messy area now. You can see you've had this sharp drop. It's taken out the liquidity, which I mentioned last week as my storyline, the reasoning behind the the trade and why I was expecting a higher draw-on price. We've had a complete reversal. It's grinding higher. It's hit this 128.30 to 128.50, and I want to see if this area right here stops price as it starts to come lower again. So again, no rush. This is going to be one of those weeks, I think, where I'm going to have to wait for Sunday to open, Monday London to finish, and kind of get a feel for Monday's price action and see roughly, where price wants to go, if we get any movement at all, and then maybe Tuesday or Wednesday pick something up, as a little trade if it sets up. But if not, then there'll be no trade there. But I think, like I said, I think it's going to be an early week where early in the week we're just going to have to let price do its thing, and show us where it wants to go, and then we can take it from there. And again, there's really no rush. You guys have seen in so many of the videos that I've done. I don't rush into trades. It's just a question of patience, time, letting the draw-on price reveal itself, looking for the liquidity pools, knowing which ones are going to get hit. And once you know that, it's just a question of entry, and the entries, let's be honest, are the easiest part. You just click a button and off you go. So I just want to drop down to the hourly action. I just want to see roughly. Yeah, I mean, this is different. We've had this consolidation. We came out of the consolidation. We've come back down. We may very well find some support in this area here, like I said, and if we do find some support down here, this may be enough. This low that took the liquidity here and took the liquidity here. That might be enough. For price to continue going higher. But there's also here as well. We do have a lot of liquidity below here, and obviously now we have equal lows. This one and this one. So if price does start to grind lower, and it's around about here, then it is possible that we, sort of snap down there, take all of this liquidity, and then maybe just go sideways for a little bit while the market starts to settle for the new year. But again, there's really no rush. So that's that one, guys. I'm going to leave it at that, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow, which will be the 14th of January. If I see anything during London, obviously I'll record that and I'll send that over as well. And as always, guys, info@lsptrading.co.uk. Any questions about what I'm going through, email me, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. And then we'll take it from there. All right, guys. So take care, and I will speak to you tomorrow.